Hey guys, I'm Bailey on the marketing team. We wanted to show how easy it is to go from art to part using PNG files or JPEG files with our Waterjet using the controller. So we figured the best way to show that is by having me, someone who's never touched the Waterjet, use the Waterjet for the first time to show you how simple it is. So we're gonna go take a file that I created to Aaron, and he is going to show us how to do it, and then I'm going to do it myself to show you guys the ease of use of our HMI. Follow me.
Up?
I have a part that I want to cut on the jet for Easter.
Okay.
I have it on this. Can you show me how to cut it?
Yeah, actually I got a better idea. How about I show you how to do it?
That sounds great.
Go ahead and plug that in and take a seat, and I will show you how easy it is. So you have the picture on the flash drive, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go to Tools, because we're gonna use the sign maker.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and hit Trace. Okay, now hit Open to find your picture. Okay, now anytime I've used the sign maker, I typically take the threshold and move it up. That's fine right there. Go ahead and hit OK. Okay, now go ahead and use the scroll wheel and scroll out. You can see it's really big, so we'll probably have to scale this down. So just click, yep, that'll work. Perfect. Happy Easter. All right, now.
It's a bunny.
Right now we don't know how big that is. Do you know how big you want it to be?
Yes, like 12 by 18.
Okay, so let's put a bounding box over
Inches,
that.
not feet.
Got it. Let's go to CAD and then click on where it says draw. Yep. Go down to rectangle, and then we're gonna do a bounding box. Okay, now go ahead and window select the whole thing. Click, and then hit enter. Perfect. Okay, so to scale this down, let's go to transform, click on the word transform, reference scale. Okay, it's asking to select the object, so window select the whole thing. Click enter. Okay, now it says to specify the distance, so let's click on the top left corner and then click on the top right corner. Okay, go ahead and hit enter. There you, okay.
I just clicked.
Okay, perfect. So that's how big it is now. You're gonna type in how big you want it to be.
Not that. Oh, not that either.
Perfect. Okay, so now we should be scaled down to, you know, the width of it is now the 12 inches that you want. So the height should match to what you were wanting also. Okay, now we don't need the bounding box anymore. We also want to get rid of any of the lines we don't want to cut. So just go ahead and click on the line of the box. And then I would get rid of the inside of the bunny tail. So just click on one of the, yep. And then the inside profile of the bunny. And then delete. There we go. Okay, now if you zoom in to the words.
How do I move those?
So if you take the scroll wheel, click, and then drag it down. There you go. Okay, so if we were to cut this as is, the inside of the A, the P's, the inside tail of the Y, the E in Easter, and like the S, like all of that stuff would drop out. So what we need to do is you're gonna wanna tie those into the outside.
Okay.
So we're just gonna draw some lines. So go up to the line, yep. And then we wanna click on we wanna basically attach or connect the inside of the A to the outside of the A. So wherever you click, yep. Might be easier if you zoom in just a little bit. There you go. And then click where you want it, and then hit enter. Okay, now that finishes that line. Now to get back into that command, we can just right click on the mouse, and it takes you right back into creating a line. So just go ahead and draw your next line. And then enter. Okay, now I would do the same thing on the bottom.
Okay.
Enter, right click. There you go. Enter. Same thing for the P's, maybe come out to the thicker side, yep. Enter.
Two.
Yep.
Separate.
Do Do the same thing on the other P.
So what happens if I were to like click down here on accident?
So because you don't see like the yellow snap to function, it's gonna draw the second point of that line wherever you click. Now, when you see the yellow snap to command and you click, the end of that line is gonna snap to that spot. So hit, enter, and right click. Okay, now we could probably just do one on the Y, but I would bring it out maybe down to the thicker part, hit escape. Right.
Yep,
there you go.
forgot that step.
Perfect. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to trim the inside of those lines where we just connected. So up under modify, we're going to click trim, and we want to trim both the top and bottom lines.
So it's like an eraser?
It looks like an eraser.
Fine.
Just click and boom, it erases. So by doing this, this is going to keep the inside of those letters connected to essentially the body of the bunny. Perfect. Okay, now since we drew lines, anytime I do anything with CAD, drawing lines, I like to make sure that the drawing is cleaned up, that there's no gaps or overlaps or anything, duplicate lines. So go ahead and zoom out so you can see the whole thing.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, now go back to tools, go clean up, all the way to the, there you go. Okay, now we have to specify a tolerance, and just from previous experience, I've always just used 1,000 as my tolerance. So just start typing 0.001, enter. Okay, now Windows select the whole thing and hit enter. So there at the bottom, it shows you how many segments you had before you started, and then what the cleanup took care of, and how many segments you have after. Okay, so we have the drawing done. Now we're ready to turn this into a part and get a program ready. So go to the CAM tab, and the first thing we need to do is select the machine. So the very top left where it says select. So this is telling us what machine we're going to use, our cutting combination, material type and thickness. Do you want to cut it out of 1/4 inch aluminum?
Sure.
Okay, so go ahead and hit OK. And then the next step is we gotta take the CAD file and create it as a part. So under part where it says create, and then Windows select the whole thing. Hit enter. Okay, now right here, all of the qualities that you see here are where we can change what type of cut quality we want for those types of features. So the words Happy Easter and the tail of the bunny, those are gonna be set to a fine quality. And then the outside profile of the bunny we have set to a medium, and I think that would be fine.
Okay.
So go ahead and hit OK. There's our part. So now we just got to put a toolpath on it. So under toolpath, we're going to go to contour. And then since we have multiple features we're going to cut, you can just click multi, and then Windows select the whole thing. Hit enter. And then I like to just kind of zoom in, make sure that where my lead in and lead outs, they look like they're going to be okay. So the green segment that you see down here is the lead in. The red around the profile is the tool path, and then the purple that you see there is the lead out.
Okay.
All of the blue dotted lines that you see in there is just the machine rapiding from one position to the next. So everything looks pretty good there. I'm pretty happy with that. I think that'll work. So go ahead and zoom out. And we have to set the order. So go up, click order, and Windows select the whole thing again. Okay, hit enter. Okay, now the colors that you see on the screen just represent the cut quality that you set before. The lower left symbol that designates where the 0 point, so your X and Y 0, are gonna be on the machine. Go ahead and hit close, and then right next to order, we're gonna hit process, and then the very first one is the button to click to set our program. So go ahead and hit OK. Okay, now here we want to save it into the folder that the machine's going to go look for. So click on right above the, yep, and then NC data, double click, and then just name your program. Okay, hit save. So there it generates all of the code to make that part, and then hit close. And then what we can do is minimize the CAD cam. And then here in the prepare, this is where we're gonna load our program. So next to job list, hit your folder, and then there's your program.
Okay.
So go ahead and hit load.
Does it matter that these have checkboxes?
Those have checkboxes because the programs have actually been run,
Okay.
so that they get marked done. Perfect. Okay, so you see this is the 0 point, right? The crosshair that you see on the screen here, that's where the head of the machine, the cutting head, is physically at. So what all we're gonna do is we're gonna go to 0 point, and then we're gonna go to jet, and it's gonna take that 0 point and snap it right to where the jet's at. Okay, so now we can go over to run, and then hit the X right here. And we can hit cycle start. Turn off dry run, and then okay.
Look at my masterpiece. Happy 186878 Easter, guys.